An important part in the personal memoirs of Ulysses S. Grant, Volume 1, is the Battle of Monterrey, which occurred during the Mexican-American War. Grant disobeyed orders and left camp for the front lines, and he got there right before a charge took place, where about a third of the American participants got shot and either injured or killed. To rectify himself as a good soldier, he volunteered to ride his horse through the heavily fired upon streets to request more ammunition. On his ride back, he saw some soldiers that were wounded and about to die, and he felt bad for them as a lower ranking soldier who these were their friends, and he connected with them on a personal level. These were some of his first experiences with fighting. This battle is portrayed in a more negative light because of all this death, and seeing it from the wounded soldier, they never were rescued. So you'll really see somebody that promises to save you and not following through it. Grant didn't come back with help before the Mexicans got them at night and killed them. Another important part is the Battle of Belmont, which is Grant's first battle in the Civil War. It starts with some small skirmishes around the area of Columbus, and it led to him capturing the Confederate Camp Johnston, and they set fire to it, but the Confederate army saw, and they started firing their artillery. The soldiers were surrounded by new reinforcements. They broke out of it and escaped on boat. This is important because Grant is really known for the Civil War, and this is the start of it. The battle had split opinions on the victor. Grant saw the battle as a Union victory, and he accomplished the two main goals of the attack on Belmont. He forced the Confederates to stay in Columbus instead of reinforcing Arkansas, and successfully diverted attention from Colonel Oglesby to his attack so he could retreat safely later on. He assures himself and others that his attack was justified because he wouldn't be able to forgive himself if Oglesby and his 3,000 men got captured by the Confederates. The Confederates saw the battle as a victory because they repelled Grant's attack on Columbus, although it was a feint, though they didn't know that. To increase morale, they boasted their lower death rate and declared the Battle of Belmont as a Confederate victory. Another important part is the capture of Fort Henry and Fort Donelson. These are his first major victories, which cemented him as a good general in the Western theater of the Civil War. He used artillery barrages to decrease the troops' morale guarding the forts, and after Donelson, he gained the nickname Unconditional Surrender Grant. Because of this, Grant earned the respect of many people. He was happy with this outcome and described it as a great success, while praising his troops' valiant efforts. If you look at this from the situation is a crisis in the point of view of Brigadier General Buckner regarding Fort Donelson. He aimed to evacuate the fort before it fell. He was acquainted with Grant from their shared military academy, West Point. He tried to squeeze out a conditional surrender because of this friendship, but Grant demanded nothing but unconditional and immediate surrender. Buckner said that those conditions were ungenerous and unchivalrous in his letters, but he still accepted the terms